Hello guys, welcome back. Today the ladies landed in Budapest and today we're going to be analyzing some of their games. This was round 3 at the Olympiad and Kenya is facing Maldives. So this is Aini Muntanzim against Mutesi Jullie. So let's just dive straight into the game, then we're going to do analysis of the match situation much later. So anyway, pawn to e4 here was played by Aini. Pawn to d6 by Jullie, pawn to d4, knight to f6, and now knight to c3. Pawn to g6, going from some park or some modern lines, and now just bishop to e3, continuing development. Pawn to c6, pawn to h3, restricting any activity by this light square bishop. So instead, Jullie continues with her development with knight b to d7, pawn to f4 here played by white, and now just queen to a5, pinning the knight to the king, and making this pawn on e4 very soft. So queen to d2 here by white, stopping the pin and now just adding more defense or just renewing the defense on e4, and now Jullie plays pawn to e5. Now pawn to e5 is not the most accurate move in this position. Then we play knight to f3 here, maybe something like bishop to g7, bishop to d3, castles by both players. And now maybe play something like e takes d, bishop takes back, and you can see from sort of the piece formation and the pawn structure in the center that white is controlling a lot of space in the center, and this might be a problem, might have been a problem for Jullie. So anyway, after pawn to e5, white does not take this opportunity to complete very rapid development. Instead, she plays queenside castles. And after playing queenside castles, the position starts going downhill very quickly for white. So bishop to g7 by Jullie, and now knight to f3, castles, and now pawn to g4. White is trying to start some attack on the king side, but this is to no avail. E takes d, bishop takes back, and now pawn to b5. Very accurate, very proactive play by black here. Black wants to play pawn to b4, wants to take advantage of the positioning of the king on c1. If the king was in b1, maybe you have something here, but then we want to just push away the defender of the a2 pawn. So here bishop takes on f6 was played. Again, I don't think this is the right move, because then you're trading the only piece that that can defend that diagonal somehow. So anyway, knight takes back on f6, and now queen takes on d6. And all these things we've been talking about, we've been saying that black wants to play pawn to b4, wants to take advantage of the positioning of the king, and here you can see that white is just oblivious of what's happening. And kids, this is one of the things that you should avoid in chess, being greedy. I mean, probably here white saw that she has maybe a couple of pawns to grab, maybe grab the pawn on d6, maybe also wrap up the pawn on c6, but she was very oblivious because the king is still on c1. Could have played maybe something like king to b1, a prophylactic move, and again it's still not that easy to play, because then you can just play something like pawn to b4, push the knight away, then grab the pawn on e4 for free. So anyway, queen takes on d6 was played. It was a fatal mistake, and here Jullie found a sequence of very exciting moves. She played pawn to b4, attacking the knight. Knight has to move back to e2, and now knight captures on e4, attacking the queen. Queen captures on c6. White is continuing with greed, just grabbing everything she can find, and now she maybe thinks that she has something, because then there's a double attack on the rook on a1 and the knight on e4. And then Jullie here finds a very good attacking move. You can try and pause the clock and find it, but it's very nice. It's a sequence of moves that wins the game immediately. So if you pause the clock and found it, because it's even on the thumbnail, congratulations. But here Jullie finds this very brilliant idea with bishop takes b2 with check. And the idea of this bishop sacrifice is that after you capture back with your king, you're going to play queen to a3, which was played in the game. Notice that the king cannot go back to the c file, has to stay on the b file, or maybe go to a1, but that isn't any better. And now Jullie sacrifices, or not really sacrifices, but plays knight to c3 with check. And the thing is, you cannot really play king to a1, because then you just grab the pawn on a2 with checkmate. So here White played knight takes back on c3, and now just pawn takes on c3, threatening mate on b2. And now White thought with queen b5 she has achieved something, tried to block checkmate, but Jullie finds this creative idea again with bishop to e6. Amazing move, very insane. I mean, the sequence to find all this on the board at the Olympiad, very nice. So anyway, she played bishop to e6, attacking the pawn on a2, and here White played rook to d7, which I don't understand. Maybe she was in shock because of what was happening. But Jullie continues to find the correct and the most accurate set of moves. She plays bishop takes on a2 with check. Notice that if you play queen takes on a2 with check, king can go to c2, c1, and if you play queen to a1, it's not a checkmate because the queen comes back to b1. So here Jullie finds bishop takes on a2 with check, very accurate. Here there's only one move for the king. King goes to a1, and now Jullie plays bishop to b3 again. A brilliant move, and this cuts off the connection of the queen to the b file and necessarily the b2 square. The king does not have any other move other than going king to b1, and now queen to b2 with checkmate. Brilliant game by Jullie. A good start for the team. They landed after having visa issues. The rest of the team landed today in Budapest, and they've taken on Maldives with a convincing 4-0 victory. And we wait to see who they get paired with in the next round. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. We'll be covering all the games from the Olympiad.